For each and every fan of the English Premier League, the wait is finally over as the 2018-2019 season weekend opening fixtures gets underway. The big standout game this weekend features Arsenal taking on last season's champions Manchester City from the Emirates Stadium. So follow me as I head inside the official hangout for the Gunners. It's called the Midtown Gastro Hub, the place where every Gooner comes to meet up with their fellows to cheer on their beloved Arsenal. This has all the makings for a thrilling and entertaining match. Arsenal's first home game ends in a disappointing loss, 2-0 at home to champions of last season, Manchester City. I'm here with Adam, long-time fan Glen, and of course Harry, doing a little bit of post-match reaction and just talking about the club in general. So guys, how did you see that first game for your beloved Arsenal? Adam?
It's a start. You don't want to start off with a loss, but we are still in transition a little bit, so I'd rather get this fixture out of the way earlier rather than later. And Unai Emery, welcome to the Premier League. And a lot of players today. I thought Torreira was excellent coming off the bench. Guendouzi, for him to start after being at Ligue 2 and playing for Lorient, and then starting against Man City is a big task. So it's a good learning period for the new boys. I do wish that we made a stronger defensive signing. We'll see how Socrates does, and obviously we were with a bit of a limited budget this summer, but we did well signing the 5 players that we did, so it's a start. Now let's just see how we carry on against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Yeah.
Glenn, how do you see the first game? What do you like and what do you like from that?
Well, first of all, really appreciate the Soccerholics coming down here, supporting the soccer in general, the Premier League, and thank you guys for interviewing us, and always good to see you guys. My opinion of the same as Adam. Lots of signings over the summer. Can't forget Arsene Wenger leaving a club after 22 years. Big shoes to fill. I think everybody has a big expectation for the Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal, a worldwide club, should be expected, and damn right, they're going to be top 4. It's just a transitional period. I like what Adams had to say. Torreira coming in off the bench. I think he should be a starter in the next two games. He signed a guy like that. Socrates at the back. That guy came off right off the meeting at the game, even before on the pitch. He looked like he had some fire. But I agree, we need some defensive help. Not having Krishalmi and Monreal on the back 4. You have to play 4 on this back team. Czech is a solid goalkeeper. I have a lot of respect for him. He looked a little shaky today, in my opinion. And you know what? It may say his job to lose, but I think, you know what? It's all about transition. You didn't want to throw Lino in there and get like 5 goals scored against the guy in the first game. So we got to take our medicine. I think Aubameyang was good overall. There's a lot of passes that weren't like 1, 2, 3 passes. A couple balls went very long. A couple strikers had opportunities like Lacazette. One finish here or there could have maybe swung this game. City, all due respect, they are a top world European club. They are the champions of the Premier League. In my opinion, I think they're the team to beat this year. And for me, for Arsenal, our goal is to get top 4.
Yeah. Harry, let's talk about Man City. Were they playing like champions of last year, or do you think they're still a little bit shaky?
Well, I think they definitely showed their class. I mean, they are the champions. They definitely played like it, and they had to play their first game against a competitive, a decent Arsenal squad. Like you said, I mean, Unai Emery, welcome to the Premier League. I mean, anytime that you make a managerial change after 20 plus years, there's going to be a potentially quite a long period of time that Arsenal will need to sort of move to adapt to that new style of play. United had experienced that under Moisey and Van Gaal after Ferguson. So I think it's going to be tough for Arsenal this year. They looked a little bit punchless going forward today. But of course City they showed up. They got an early goal, and then they just sort of dictated the play from there. And I didn't really think Arsenal was gonna find a way to break through. They just didn't look too dangerous going forward.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that just takes time. Maybe the players on Arsenal need a couple games under Emery and with his new system to try and figure out how to break down teams. But, City just showed up. They got their goals. They did their job, and they showed that they probably are the team to beat this year, and they probably are one of the better teams in all the world this year. So it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah. Let's talk about a matter that's happened off the field in this week. Hopefully very close, Stan Kroenke, a lot of talk about him, could be having complete ownership of Arsenal Football Club. A lot of fans unhappy about that. What's your view on that, Adam, and what do you think?
Well, it seems now that it's a done deal, and we were a club that were never owned by just one majority shareholder. So I feel bad for the AST, the Supporters Trust, because that's generational. People have been a part of the club, and to have that ripped from them, I think is pretty sad. My question has always been about whether or not, how does someone in the boardroom affect something that happens on the pitch? And I think in our case, we'll have to see how flexible we might be in the transfer market now moving forward. Last summer and in January, we broke our transfer records, getting Lacazette and Aubameyang under a very quick-fire kind of move, and we'll see how they all gel together. But Stan Kroenke, don't spoil our club.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, Glenn, because this guy owns a lot of teams, NFL, NBA, and also MLS, and people are just thinking that he's just there to make Arsenal a cash cow. Are you worried for your club? Is it going to change the way Arsenal play, the fans, the players, etc.?
In my opinion, I agree with Adam in his assessment as well. But now what's done, it's done. For all intents and purposes, he's going to have 100% shareholder of the club. He has some other interests. My thinking is that, it is what it is for now. Our product is the players on the pitch right now. And we have successful transfer markets come January, for example. Like, we ride the ship right now. We have the transition period. If he stays out of the way, then let him stay out of the way. He can do whatever he wants. But in my opinion, if he affects the club as far as an overall, and Adam, I do respect the AFC trust stuff, like legacy and stuff like that. I absolutely respect that. And believe me, I'm 100% on that. This is a new growing age. And at this point here, I think we have to say, hey, we've been Arsenal supporters for a long time. We're diehards. We're lovers of this club. We want to see them back in top four. We want to see them competitive. We want to see them win leagues. This man right here, hey, he has the sole ownership, so he can do what he wants, and he has other interests. Let the product on the pitch speak.
Yeah.
And I think it just takes the transition, and everybody just stick together.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
How are you, thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, football ownership is very interesting these days. You see owners that are businesses, and then owners that are individuals. I really think that it all matters in terms of the two transfer windows and how much money is going to be spent in the transfer window. And if it's spent at the right place, on the right places, on the right people, that's how you win in this league. And with barring a few exceptions like Leicester, if you spend, you win. And City spent, they've won. And Manchester United have spent, they've won. And Chelsea have spent, they won. I think Arsenal have spent. Let's not pretend like Arsenal haven't splashed the cash for their strikers. But you just start to think, maybe if this allows Stan Kroenke to spend more money than he has been before, fantastic. But what is there to say that anything's going to be different, right? He's still going to be at the helm of the club with a bit more power. But does that mean that he's going to actually spend more money, or does that mean he's going to be able to make more of a profit out of it? We'll just have to see.
We'll see what happens. All right, and then finally, so we saw some new face at Arsenal today. Torreira, Guendouzi, Lichtsteiner, Bird Leno, the new goalkeepers on the bench. What are you most excited about those players? And is there anyone from the original first team from last season that you think will make a difference for Arsenal to make a challenge?
Well, I'll start off with this. The player for me to watch is Lucas Torreira.
Me too.
When he signed, I was quite happy. And today when he came on, notice how the subs sort of changed the dynamic. Lichtsteiner as well. Lacazette also, which was a bit of a surprise to see Ramsey come off, but we had a bit of a different bite. Now, with the Ramsey contract situation, I would like to know that we can keep him and see if he can be the player the team can sort of build around. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing Lacazette and Ozil firing a little bit more. They had a few moments today where the fluidity wasn't there, but I'm looking forward again to Torreira just because he has that bite. He's like this little guy who might be a really, really important player for us this season.
Matter, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Glenn?
I would agree with
Yeah.
Adam as well on this one. Tortorella, fantastic signing, and I think you have to start him at Stamford Bridge at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Get him in the pitch, get him in there. I think Arsenal right now need a guy. It doesn't have to necessarily be a captain like Czech or somebody like that, but a guy that will say, hey, I am your like kind of face, I'm the leader, follow me, and be that gritty guy, and let all the players follow him. I think that's the one. I know it's transition stuff, but let one guy step up and everybody will just grit together, and then I think it's a long season. I think Arsenal transition, they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
They're going to bounce back.
Cool. All right, that's all the time we have for this episode. I want to thank Glenn and Adam for being with us. You can subscribe, like, comment to any of our videos. All the social medias come up on the screen now. For myself, Harry, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on SoccerholicsTV.